Ngare Ndare Forest, a lush indigenous forest at the foothills of Mount Kenya. It boasts of the only canopy walk in East Africa on a 40-feet high aerial bridge of wire mesh and cables extending 450 meters long, which provides visitors with a monkey eye view of the flora and fauna below. Often black rhino, elephants and buffalo can be sighted from up there too. Indigenous trees stretch into the canopy, thereby supporting a rich variety of bird and animal life. Ngare Ndare is home to the ancient African olive and red cedar trees, believed to be around 200 years old. The forest is a vital corridor that links the Lewa Wildlife Conservancy to Mount Kenya, and one which elephants have been using for centuries.
As we go towards Meru, there is an underpass down the tarmac that connects the forest to Mount Kenya. So the elephants go to Mount Kenya and come back, the forest, and then to the Lewa Wildlife Conservancy and the far northern Kenya.
The 5,540 hectares forest is owned by the Ngare Ndare Forest Trust, which brings together local communities, landowners and government to promote conservation.
It is formed by 6 communities surrounding the forest. We have 6 communities surrounding the forest, which are organized in CBOs, and then stakeholders who are nearby us, which are Lewa Wildlife Conservancy. We have Borana, we have Kisima, we have Northern Frontier Ventures. Those are the stakeholders who assist us in conservation of this forest.
The community adopted an initiative dubbed 1 for 1, an arrangement in which members get 1 extra seedling for free for each seedling they purchase.
1 for 1. If you buy 1, we give you 1. We buy 1 for you, so that we encourage them to plant more trees, and eventually, maybe in some years to come, people will not be using the forest so much, because again, as the population grow and the more the pressure.
At one entrance of the forest, we meet a group of women who are part of the Community Forest Association tending to seedlings in the tree nursery. The trust gets the seedlings from Kenya Forestry Research Institute and from inside the forest. They then sell the seedlings to the community at 20 shillings per seedling. This deliberate afforestation method has helped to improve the forest cover.
Usually deal with the purposely with the community tree nurseries, whereby we currently have over 15 community tree nurseries, whereby we encourage the households to embark on planting trees on their homestead, so that we can reduce the numbers of those who are going inside the forest to collect firewood.
The tree nursery belonging to the trust grows 100,000 indigenous seedlings a year, 50,000 of which get replanted in degraded areas of the forest in an annual tree planting ceremony.
Every year we have an occasion called tree planting. Every year, during the seasons, especially the long rains of October, from October to December. This is to increase our canopy cover, and again, with the community, we want to slowly drive them away from the forest so that they don't entirely depend on the forest for fuel correction.
But this was not the case a few years back. The forest was free for all, where locals walked in at will and engaged in wanton logging of trees. This destroyed the forest ecosystem and disrupted life in the wild. These illegal activities drew sharp criticism from conservationists.
Mbele tulipoanza ilikuwa 2002. Msitu ulikuwa umeharibiwa kwa kiwango cha juu sana. Kila mahali kulikuwa na logging, ilikuwa imeangushwa miti, hakukuwa na order. Kila barabara katika msitu ilikuwa inasafirisha kuni, vikingi, vitu kama hizo. So sasa wakati tuliingia, ilikuwa kwanza ni kupambana na hawa, kujaribu kuongea community yenyewe ya hapa, ni kujaribu kuongea na hawa kwanza, kuwaelezea umuhimu wa msitu, kuwaelezea umuhimu wakiwa naye. So ikawa kwanza kazi ni hiyo, na wale wa kutoka mbali ni kuanza kusumbuana nao polepole mpaka tulipo sasa kuweza kusimama imara na kuwa sasa msitu wote umeprotektiwa na umesingirwa wote na ua.
Before this trust came up, there was a lot of tree poaching going on. But since they formed the trust, I mean, there have been tremendous improvement. We've seen very, very few cases of tree poaching.
As part of the reclamation, the Northern Redlands Trust, which was registered in 2004, fenced the forest back in 1992 to protect it. Some community members serve as rangers who raise awareness on conservation, as well as patrolling the forest to gather intelligence.
Tuko na hizo team ambazo kazi yao ni kupatrol at night, na kuna zile ambazo wana patrol mchana na wako na radios. Tuko na pia bunduki ambazo inasaidia kwa sababu msitu kuna wanyama, msitu ni msitu.
Ngare Ndare Forest is also the primary source of water for River Ewasonyiro, which serves adjacent communities as well as the northern Kenya conservancies. Most of the wildlife here rely on River Ewasonyiro for water.
It's very, very important for us as far as this ecosystem down here is concerned, is our water catchment area. I mean, all the streams that go down to Lewa, to Borana, and further down to the Ilingwezi group lunch, all of them come from here, the springs that we have in this forest. It's also a very, very good habitat for animals like elephants, buffaloes, bushbucks, and we have a family of Columbus monkey, which is very, very rare to see unless you are up in the mountains like in Mount Kenya Forest. So yeah, it's a very, very, very important thing that the village itself has undertaken.
But population growth is exerting pressure on the natural resources, promoting diversification into sustainable alternatives.
We have introduced a biogas project in the community. We have introduced energy saving decos in the community, and currently Akina Mama, they are very much happy because they are not going inside the forest every day.
As Kenya steps up its efforts to conserve forests, communities in Ngare Ndare are playing their part and have pledged to promote the 1-for-1 initiative, one seedling at a time, to protect their natural resource from degradation. For a while now, communities living adjacent to the forest have been blamed for destroying the forest and the ecosystem. But Ngare Ndare Forest is an example of what communities can do when they come together to protect its forest. For Channel 1 News Hour, I'm Emily K. Buddy.